Good morning. I would like to call our special, is this a special board meeting or a regular?
This is our regular board meeting.
The dates changed. So I would like to call our regular board meeting to order at 10:32. We're located in the Village Chambers of Broadview, 2350 South 25th Avenue. We need a roll call. Celeste is not feeling well today. Manager Berry? Here. Trustee Mazzano?
Here.
Mayor Rebo?
Present.
Mayor Thompson here. Ms. Jones?
Here.
Absent is Mr. Scalise. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have any public comments? None. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from May 22nd. I need a motion and a second.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We didn't have a meeting that was supposed to be held on the 26th of June, so this is that meeting. And then next is the monthly financial report for May 2025 and June 2025.
Well, first off, we don't have June 2025, we just have May 2025, because you'll now be starting the cycle where at your August meeting, you'll do June, September, you'll do July, because it's the first week of the subsequent month, okay? So that being said, I'm here to present May. At the end of May, we have $10.9 million in cash and investments. It is obviously the first month of our fiscal year, so therefore, operationally wise, looking at it, we don't really have much going on because of the fact that it is the first month of the year. The monthly profit was $706,000. That being said, give you a little status on where we're at in transition. Lauterbach and Eamon has had access to the database since the first week of June. So right after the last board meeting, I was in contact with them, and we set up access to the database. So they have access to the database. They've been pulling stuff down. I believe they're going to run payroll next week. I believe, based on my last email, they have all the information set up so that they should be able to run. If not, I will continue to run payroll. I just want to make it clear to the board, I'm not going anywhere. If something happens and things don't get done and we need checks cut, I'm still here. I will still help you through this process. I talked to Steve the other day, and I think they're good to go. The biggest thing they have to work on is, my understanding is they're going to give a file to Wesley, and Wesley's going to have to print the checks. But my checks don't work on their software. So I said, well, you need to work and get them check stock. And they said, oh, we do blank checks, which basically means they will print the full check, including your name, address, and microline. The problem is not all printers support microlines. Microline is at bottom of your check, for you don't know. I don't want to talk over people, sorry. I've asked Lauterbach to meet with Wesley to make sure your hardware works with their software. Okay, so that has not happened yet. I will send them another message today after this meeting. I will give all of my leftover check stock to Wesley. It will still be good. If he needs to handwrite a check, he can handwrite a check on it. He doesn't have to go through Lauterbach and then bring it to you for signature, but at least he'll have something in the interim so that he can issue checks if he needs to. I will still be doing the June month end because I've done all the accounting. So the bank recs, once the bank statements come in, Wesley will forward them to me because all the accounting's on QuickBooks. And they're not going to use QuickBooks. So I will do all the bank recs related to June and issue a June 30th financial statement to the board. If you wish for me to come and do a presentation at the meeting, I will do that. But I'm not sure if that's a necessity. It's up to you to decide. But other than that, that's kind of where we're at in the transition. I've already told Wesley, if he needs something, give me a call. I'm not going away. I'm not letting you flail. Okay?
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you, Kelly. I have a few. Mayor Rebo, you have any questions or comments? Trustee,
No, thank you.
manager, administrator? So a couple of questions as it relates to the transition in the printing of the checks. If they're not on QuickBooks and they have their own accounting software that they use to print checks, how come we just don't order the checks that accommodate their software instead of?
Because their software is programmed to print the checks fully. So their software is not, so there's two types of softwares. There's those that print on a pre-printed check, and then those that are printed on a blank sheet of paper. Their software is to print on a blank sheet of paper. It's just the software they use.
So is that something that, for security purposes, and that's where the concerns come with me, if they can print a check on a piece of paper, I don't think that's conducive for us. Only
Actually,
because
it's much safer than a pre-printed check. Because you can't print a check. So like right now, if I give him back the check, so right now the check stock is in a locked box in my office. Once I give it back to him, if somebody steals one of those checks out, they can go and write a check. Somebody steals one of these blank pieces of paper, there's nothing they can do. So the only way a check can get issued with your banking information with a blank piece of paper is to print it out of the software.
So then, if that's the safest way, I guess I'm confused on what the issue is with the checks and the printing because of the software. Because we can cancel out all of the checks that you have, that could be shredded.
So the issue with the check is this. So it's called the microline. It's a special font that banks are given to print the check so that their optical character readers can read the check as it goes through, okay? Not all printers are programmed for that font, okay? If your printer is not programmed for that font, it can't print the check.
So we don't have that printer.
I don't know if you do, because Lauterbach and Wesley haven't gotten together to discuss it.
Okay, I got it. Okay,
Yes.
now I'm clear.
So we don't know if they have it. This is why, and I will be honest with you, I have had contact with Lauterbach several times. I've even gone above Steve's head and said, hey, you guys need to call Wesley. Don't keep coming and emailing me. I'm checking in to make sure you're okay, trying to both of you guys to work together, but at some point, they got to call him. And I've yelled at them, you got to call him. And it's on them now. I can't do anymore.
I got it. I'm clear. I'm clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kelly, for also supporting us during this transition, too. Next on the agenda is the consideration and approval of the finance report as of June 26, 2025. The detailed report is for the period of May 23rd, 2025 to July 2nd, 2025 in the amount of $637,210.81. The check numbers is 17857 through 17882. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Can we make a minor adjustment so if there was one additional check, we got the credit card statement. So to make it easier starting next month, can we adjust the numbers to the ending number to be 17883? And the total amount to be $638,445.16.
So we just, before this meeting, we just wrote a check in the amount of,
$1,234.35.
and that was check number 17883.
883. And that was for Fifth Third Bank for the credit card.
Okay.
So for transparency and accountability, based off the agenda items that we have, it's not appropriate for us to do that because it's not on this check. So what I think the best thing for us to do is just, if it's the credit card and the statement, just ratify it at the next board meeting. Okay, thank you. So again, the dollar amount is $637,210.81, and the check numbers is 17857 through 1782. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion as it relates to the bills?
No.
No.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Ms. Jones? Yes. Mayor Thompson, yes. Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano?
Yes.
Manager Barry?
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of termination letter regarding accounting, bookkeeping services, and financial consulting agreement with Zabinski Consulting Services, Inc. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Well, I will say that, during the time that I've been here, thank you, Kelly, for all of your support and services to this agency. It's been bittersweet, some hard, some challenges, but we made it through, and because of your expertise, you kept us in line with, while we have a surplus and our finances are well organized. And so as we transition, I wish you nothing but the very best on how you move forward in your career path. So thank you for your services. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of resolution number 2025-4, the resolution approving the reappointment of Wesley Barber as superintendent of the Broadview Joint Water Agency and authorizing execution of an employment agreement with Wesley Barber to serve as the superintendent of Broadview. The term is July 2nd, 2025 to May 1st, 2029, as the attachments that you all have in review. I need a motion in a second.
Motion for approval. Second.
And so, okay, now that we can have a discussion, I don't know if you all want to go into closed session to discuss it, or if Wesley had any questions regarding it. I haven't gotten anything or any concerns that was brought up. Have you, Mayor Rebel?
No.
Okay, is there any discussion as it relates to the superintendent's agreement and contract?
No.
Okay, so for transparency, I would like to add that in this agreement, the annual salary for the superintendent is $132,921.50, with the 3% change in base salary for the initial year, and then based off of CPI, the salary adjustments or board discretion as it relates to salary adjustment. There was a one-time merit pay of $3,000. And then Exhibit C in the agreement is the compensation and benefits with the rollover of 40 hours of unused vacation time. I just wanted to make that as a matter of record. Now we need to have a roll call. So, Ms. Jones? Yes. Mayor Thompson, yes. Mayor Rebel?
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano?
Yes.
Member Barry?
Yes.
And that carries. Next on the agenda is resolution number 25-05, a resolution approving amendments to the employee handbook of the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency in regards to update to vacation and sick time benefits. I need a motion and a second.
Motion for approval. Second.
Any discussion?
I certainly think, right here, Mayor, sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
Just wanted to say that I'm glad this is finally getting put in. I know that there was a little bit of a surprise at the previous meeting, so this is something that's very important, and I think it works out well for all parties involved.
Yes, I agree with that, Mayor Rebo. When we have, the agency is a small agency. And so when we lack in professional service as it relates to how we get the job done, and then you got employees, not being able to take vacation time, and from my lens and from my point of view, it's very important that people spend as much time with their family as possible. And so we have to put things in place so that the people that work for us are able to have that quality time with their family as well, instead of working all of the time. And you're not productive when you're not resting. So I'm glad that the handbook got amended. We recognized some things that was not on our radar, but we were able to correct that. So I need, any other discussion?
No, looks great.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next is the consideration and approval of ordinance 2025-03, an ordinance authorizing and approving amendment number 1 to fiscal year 25-26 budget and appropriation for the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency from May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026. I need motion in a second.
Motion for approval. Second.
Any discussion? I'll do a roll call. Ms. Jones? Yes. Mayor Thompson, yes. Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano?
Yes.
Manager Barry?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of a motion to approve the release of request for a proposal for the I-290 Expressway Water Main Concrete Pavement Patchwork. So we did have a memo. I don't know if you want to tell us about this?
Morning. Yeah, so as you may recall, back in fall of 2023, a soil boring company bored through the water main, the 24-inch water main. It had to be repaired. There was a temporary pavement patch, and IDOT is now requesting a permanent patch. We were hoping we could do asphalt, maybe during the day, but now they want it at night, concrete, all that good stuff. So we need to send out requests to, concrete contractors, get some prices and move forward on that. So, yeah, we just want approval to go ahead and start that process.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments for Mark?
Not for Mark per se, but this is still part of the insurance. So
Yes.
it's nothing, just to be clear for everybody out there, so.
Yep. Thank you, Manager. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration.
Yes. Very.
We ready, Mike? Okay. Thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of a motion to approve signing up with Solar Landscape Community Solar Subscription Program to receive solar energy produced electricity at the 10th Avenue Pump Station and to benefit the solar energy discontinued electricity rates. So it was a packet of information in there. I'm going to ask the board to table this to the next meeting, just so that I can do a deeper dive into what that really looked like. Or Colleen, you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Okay.
Update on it, so you don't have to read through it completely. For those who don't know me, I work for 7 Generations Ahead, and we work with C4 and also our role in the Broadview Energy Plan. And so, one of the things we do is we work with a bunch of different community solar providers to, provide the benefit and tell the other C4 communities about it. And Solar Landscape is one of the community solar developers, and they had some space available, sort of fitting to the amount that the water agency uses. And what community solar is, there's a few different ways to do solar. One is putting solar panels on buildings, direct ownership or power purchase through those. The other is to have a developer put solar panels on other buildings, and you can purchase that energy at a reduced rate. Instead of having to own the system yourself, you're putting it at a reduced rate on another building. In Broadview, there is community-driven community solar, which means the solar panels are local, so it's not far away somewhere, it's right here. They're putting them on the roofs of public storage buildings and other places in the area. So Solar Landscape has a bunch of projects that are supposed to be filled now, and if the water agency signs up, they get a 20% discount on their service rate. So over the course of a year, that would total about an $8,000 savings in the electricity rate. It's a 10-year contract, but that rate, the 20% rate gets locked in. So that's essentially what the packet goes through, is it just kind of explains the opportunity. And we work with several different solar providers, but Solar Landscape had this opportunity right now, so I called Wesley and told him about it. Very high level. Anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, so I'm still going to recommend for this item to be tabled because I want Mike, our attorney, to go through the agreement. The concern that I have is the 10-year commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Mike, will you go through the agreement and then make some recommendations to the board, and we can bring it up for discussion at the next board meeting?
Would you like it, my comments plus a resolution, team it up for approval?
Yes.
Comments?
Yes, because then if we have to go back to the vendor with some concerns that we have, we're able to make, to negotiate some terms. That's
And if
good.
there are any, it'll be ready for approval and action at your August meeting,
Okay,
for sure.
all right, thanks, Colleen.
Yep, absolutely.
So this will be tabled to the next board meeting. Thank you. Okay, next is old business. Status report on the expansion of agency water reservoir to a capacity of 1.5 million gallon water reservoir at the 10th Avenue Pump Station. Mark, any updates? And I see the resolution is here, but any updates outside of what we need to approve? Have we did all of the RFPs and all of that stuff?
Yeah, this is for the water expansion at the pump station. Siorba submitted a updated construction engineering agreement because the scope had changed since, the previous project and all that. So we requested that they provide us an updated agreement, which they did. And so this resolution would be to pass and accept their revised agreement.
And do we know what the dollar amount is for the,
I could,
There's a not to exceed $151,945.
yes, it's an hourly not to exceed. It's 451, 945, 17.
But it also has specifically Exhibit B, so with the hourlies. It's page 3 and
What was the question?
just waiting on the dollar amount, just so that we can have it for the record, for the approval.
Yeah, this also, besides Siorba, it includes services by others, testing agents, testing service, and then a McMahon Group is a subconsultant as well. So all of that together comes to 451,945.17.
451,917,
945.17.
oh, 945. One more time.
451, 945.17.
17?
0.17.
Okay. So $451,945.17.
Yes.
Okay. And we need a roll call. Do we have a motion in a second?
motion for approval.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
I would have one thing. Obviously, your memo outlines what's being brought forward. I'm assuming that it was also reviewed by either you or staff, correct?
Yes.
For clarity,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Because in reading what I've read, some legalese, some technical, a little bit beyond my means, but I just, you didn't necessarily say it that way, so I just wanted to make sure that you've,
Yeah,
thoroughly reviewed.
we reviewed their scope and their hours and
Okay.
found it acceptable.
understood. Thank you. Just wanted clarification.
Yep. And that was from the memo, that was from May 16. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Manager Berry?
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson, yes. Ms. Jones? Yes. And that motion carries. Next is a status report on the IDOT project relocation of the agency 24-inch water main to be completed as the part of the 2026 bridge replacement project on I-290.
Okay, so, after the last board meeting on May 27th, I believe, Wesley and I had a virtual meeting with IDOT, kind of a kickoff meeting. We reviewed some of their preliminary design concepts and had some discussions. They requested some information from the agency, which we forwarded to them, such as, peak flows, operating pressures, maximum time of shutdown allowed, that type of thing. One item of information that we still need to provide them is, I gave them an atlas of the system, and they wanted to know the valves, which ones are working, which are not, because they'll need to do that to shut mains down, to, make attachments and whatever. So the agency is still working with Brian Barnes, I believe, to operate some valves and get a status report so we can finalize that and give that to IDOT.
Okay.
And that's the up-to-date.
Any questions?
Only quick question would be, either you or Wesley, did they give you a rough estimate when they're looking at this? Is if, when?
As far as cost, no, they haven't given us
Just-
anything yet.
Just timing, because again, at that point in time, all of us need to make sure that our towers are, just in case.
Right, no, not at that point yet.
Okay.
I'll bring it up. Okay, thank you, Mark. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The water operator position is still currently open. We're still accepting resumes. For the month of June, the agency completed a total of 28 Julie locates along with daily maintenance. The station pumped 117,217,000 gallons. And I also provided the water use comparison data sheet for June. Since our board meetings have changed to the first of the month now, it'll just be the month before for the water usage data sheet. And as of right now, we had a situation with Heinz. Their boiler plant is out of service as of yesterday. And right now, the emergency cross-connect is open from the village of Broadview to Heinz. And that repair should be completed sometime today, if not today, first thing in the morning.
Who's doing the repair?
I believe they have Dami Mechanical over there right now. That's all that I have.
So because our board meetings have changed to the beginning of the month, and we know everything is gonna be reported a month behind, even like with your water, if things come up, still notify us if it's an emergency like the Heinz. We still wanna be made aware of what's taking place so that it don't catch us off guard. So we aware that it's gonna be a month behind for financials, water reporting and stuff like that.
Okay.
And just make sure we just document it. Any questions for the superintendent?
Just not a question, but maybe a comment. I know that Wesley worked with Mark since he took over for the capital plan. It might be time just to bring it back before we start seeing it again. This way, how much work they did on it, and also making sure, as we all know, and we just heard again, about exercising the valves and where that sits with everything.
I think that's a great point to make. Maybe we can do like a workshop to do this so that we don't violate any open meetings act and do a special board meeting, not to conduct business, but to do the capital project thing.
Okay.
Okay, so if you could work on the schedule for us to do that so we can participate, that'd be good, because we should be managing capital projects as well.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any discussion for closed session?
We do if we're going to discuss a resolution of the vacation time issue for the two employees that was discussed last month.
Okay, so, before I make a motion to adjourn this meeting and go into closed session, I do want to say that Celeste, our board secretary, has resigned from her position, and we have a resume for a replacement to Neil Jackson. She's here. It was in your board packet. We can discuss that in closed session as well. I'll make a motion to go into closed session at 11:02.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Ms. Jones? Yes. Mayor Thompson, yes. Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano?
Yes.
Manager Barry? Yes. Okay, we're going into closed session. You're more than welcome to stay, but we'll be back. Board meeting at 11:16 a.m. I need a roll call. Ms. Jones? Here. Mayor Thompson here. Mayor Rebo?
Here.
Trustee Mazzano? Here. Manager Barry? Here. So out of closed session, we have instructed the attorney to create a letter to the two employees that was impacted by income for vacation time. And so that's going to appear on the next agenda item. The total amount for the one employee is $30,256.80, and for the next employee is $9,076.80 to be paid in 12 equal payments for each employee. Any questions or discussion?
Nope.
I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good 4th of July, everyone.
You as well. Thank you.
You too, Mayor.